Okay, let's have it. This is everything I know about being a special ed teacher, okay? A special ed teacher starts off with you would be literally have the same upbringing. Tried too hard to fit in, really tried to rap, got further into rapping than you, got into more trouble. I basically had to overcome a phase of hip hop in order to pass it on to you. There are multiple implications that I'm a special ed teacher, that is including my son Zach, the fact that I can do a robot, enforcing things like sports. It went hand in hand, when I got further into standard for my children. I'm gonna start off with the biggest lesson that has been passed down that everyone can relate to called Let It Come to You. Now, there's multiple levels of Let It Come to You. Because mine was light. Mine was minor. Do you know that Let It Come to You is actually connected to Tyrell? Because my best friend Andre's father, his Omar was way worse because he was telling facts about life. And the best about that means he scored higher. You know what that means? It means they can't fool you. Let it come to you in your head. It means they have to give you physical evidence from the studio. You know why? Let It Come to You is a part of San Francisco. What that means is that's more of a well-rounded individual. That means his parents care more about him in school. It means he met more people, was, involved in more, family-oriented things. Hung around more family members who were gang members. Seeing that Mariah's, Let It Come to You, Omar was way worse because he saw him in a being and he saw him how he adapts. And what scientists do is they take the fact that he's complete and they like the fact that you're not completely holding your options open. The special ed teacher tries to get through to you is that he has a more rounded, engage around people. And what that means, that how you're hyper, Lily, he's calm, Lily, and he knows a little bit more than you about the certain subject. That's only because his parents reinforce something. I'm gonna put it flat out, to you. Let it come to you, those more people. But what happens is, with some people like Andre's dad that actually gets to our county. Mine didn't get to our county, but covered, the subject. Like example, literally, see I'm talking about people progressing? And the happening was Andre's dad was like, this and that, literally. And then he saw, Omar get with a whole bunch of bitches, literally, say his shit out loud, literally. And then as it went day by day, literally, that doesn't think critical. Calling out the echo with his family, ended up telling him that literally that he's getting stale, that he's doing the same thing, and then Andre ends up making a joke, and he says right to you, you see how I told you how you call out the oxymoron between Omar being lame? He said directly to Andre's face, how can you make a joke when I just called out your mentality? It's very true, and what that is that's factor out emphasis, and what people need is they need emphasis to survive, and that's what separates us from monkeys. But it's true, and that's why I know a lot about Omar in India is that they're factor out emphasis. It's the government's way of saying that you stay the same. It's such a big subject, such a big thing that's way outside of 5, really, that's so outside of 4. The point where Mariah Carey's Lily Omar was so on point, Lily, he was actually going out with girls and talking fucking girls, Lily, saying shit like, you're never gonna top him in fucking cosplay. Way to the point where they're actually going out and shit like that. He talks to her in class saying that, yo, we were on a good date, and 2 we saw something around the lake that looked like you. I know it's a concept above that. Why you think that he was going up and down in a video game? Here's the kick, where gangsters, literally, they say that all that shit is bullshit and that the teacher is calling out your sexual, when he's the one who told you to stay in school. What I know extensively, literally, is what they're trying to do is they're trying to tell you, get your oomph out of somebody for one time so we can finally send you in jail. That's what they know externally. I'm telling you, this shit gets so out of hand, literally, every time you keep on saying it, it's so low all the way to the point where you run into Crystal, the one who sent him, when you're pretending to be somebody you're not. I already knew that it was unintellectual, literally, into the fact that, before, Lily, if you have this, you won't have that. Then all these other years, Lily, they fucking called Andre on the phone, Lily, he's like, Andre, you're right about high school. It's true, it's very true, it's not anything to be fucked with. That's why you use this tool in the future. Wanna know why? Because somebody can't play you. That's why when you see it, it's all one message. Yeah, we already went through, if you go further to rap, outside rapping, outside Chameleon and Fabulous and shit, that it's retarded. Sorry, Mr. Paige, to reinforce, sports because sports do this. What that has to do with the whole archetype, really, of Let It Come to You is borrowing along instead of being rebellious. You see what I talk about people like Sandra and Anthony Perry on the skateboard. People doing drugs is being rebellious, and that's why I kept on trying to tell you, measure out being high stops you from following along, stops you from doing shit, Lily, and that's why I try to shut people up. Like Lily, when I was wrestling, I was complaining about my personal problems and shit, and I was also on drugs. So I say it's out the picture. Don't even talk about Eris, Lily. Just fucking love the fact that he's in the real world. And, that's why they told me to go back to school, because I had sex. I had hot, fiery sex, the one that you see in porno. Lily did this whole school above Andy. Lily, he told me to go back to school because I had fiery sex. That was time for strain, that was time for slavery, that was time, for other things to kick in. If you didn't know, the blue Jordans actually come in multiple versions. First off, Lily, you want to get past standard. Lily, I learned that standard is for a sicko because, Lily, you know how the autistic kid is passionate? Standard is for a sicko, Lily, somebody that goes to a blood being that kills somebody, Lily, that doesn't care a fuck about anything, Lily, to a point they can get past till, they can get past this, and that. Because their horror movie, Lily, everything, and their drugs, Lily, filled them up with so much shit that they can get past something. And that's the whole point about Sheldon in junior high. Sheldon is somebody who owns fucking Tiger Woods, who is better at golf and PE. Literally that. Destroyed Tiger's career. Same with Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk didn't want Ollie at first. He couldn't get better until he Ollied. Celebrities have a bad history, Lily, of copying, people in public school, when they're young and holding on to college lessons when they get older. I tried to compare, the freshman to my Let It Come to You, and they didn't let it have strength because I had the best girl when it came to the competition. But, when you drag things on, you force me to only recognize what was definite. Even though the more beautiful story, because it's more intellectual, was Alma. That you ignored everything, you got ignore the explorer. Did that because you didn't give me the opportunity. Even though the Omar was the first to get predator on Facebook, but he kept on saying, ass and tease too much. I know everything about being, a sick scumbag, Lily, why Lily, a sick scumbag, Lily, is better in school. That's your older brother. Your older brother, Lily, after going to the blood being, gets all this shit. That's why he's not afraid of standard. That's why he's not afraid for Stan to come into play. Now, when it comes to blue Jordans, I have multiple pairs, shapes and forms, Lily. We can already tell by the ones I have in my videos. Okay, so let's slow down a little bit. Let's talk about Lily junior high. If you buy a pair of blue Jordans in junior high, that means you automatically get the girl. You all know why? Because that means, Lily, because she's pretty, Lily goes hand in hand with her realistically. Kids, they made women a standard in order for autistic kids to get past something, Lily. So in school, they're standard, but Lily, when they grow older, Lily, they turn to a foreigner, slash food for your uncle. So the rule of blue Jordans, Lily, is somebody on the dance floor, especially like you, hockey show, like, you want to do this, Lily, so they can be, fucking tag blue Jordans, they can be, your first level of Skechers as you first get, Lily, or, the new Nikes. So if you get them in school, the rule is you got past something, Lily. You didn't do what the guy in special ed did, and you actually got up to standard. They come in various shapes and forms. So if you don't know, through multiple videos that I have, the ones that I have, the Adidas ones that are, blue and orange like Beta, those are blue Jordans. Those are enough to be blue Jordans in junior high. You already know about that. It's when you choose to actually buy blue Jordans. It's when you understand that Lily standard comes from a scumbag. That's when you decide to, stop saying fucking go outside the curriculum. A certain amount of people in order to do it, something has to push you in order to buy them. Blue Jordans. Okay, so on to the next subject, which is purple. My boy Robert Wilson, Lily. I love purple, Lily. Purple's the best. Now let me tell you something. When I ran the reality show, when I worked for Funimation, the rule behind purple is advanced socializing that revolves around quality, saying the right thing at the right time. And how purple starts is the final phase of Crip, and it's very hard because purple is what destroys single mother families. Purple is why you're saying the same thing for 4 years, because what it does is it gets you comfortable, literally, and that's the part why I've been trying to tell you. Purple is the reason why knowing people can overly love you and why you pass up back with emotion. What purple does is it goes in between transitions of society, literally giving you quality, literally destroying your family, because when they grew up, literally it wasn't like that. They said it didn't spoke in tongues. Literally what purple does is it only allows you to hold on to a quality of socializing instead of the goodness from people, instead of actually getting to know people, which is why you appear more like when Andre, literally, when he came over, literally, he thought did a whole bunch of things, and then Chris Crownfire, Andre, that literally, that I didn't do shit, literally, I just play video games, literally, I work on my A and B's, literally, that I think about some girls. Because that outside of what purple does to you, and purple is way better than Let It Come to You, because it's socializing actual detail, it's so that you actually care. That's the problem, literally, it's like socializing that revolves around a superpower, to the point where literally, you're attacking your uncle, because he didn't get the drill out of the military like you did. The point of Purple Lily is because it has more detail. It's why literally you're calling out the oxymoron or wherever trials put in your face is to ask quality of friends, because with Purple there's jokes, with Purple there's fighting, with Purple there's intellectual ability. Like, do you know Lily at the end of 8th grade with Courtney, Lily, somebody called him an orange? I forgot he called Ben an orange. So how the other thing Let It Come to You isn't intellectual at all. Purple is the most intellectual. My favorite subject, but there's a problem with purple. Purple literally can't see through fact, and you won't get things that are big. Literally, and purple is the reason why you can see, past your cousin, see past what your family's saying. Literally, it goes in between what your family is saying. That's why you don't listen to them. Because you're holding on to the same quality, which is the same. When life comes in different contexts and how to be educated, it's to know that things are in different contexts so you don't get confused. People expecting, things too much. Literally, purple leaves you behind. All those people like, Robert Rose, Courtney Jackson, those niggas went to jail, focus on, futures. Said, fuck that shit, did my own thing. That's the thing, purple has a big criticism, which is why it's the exact opposite of purple and anime. And that's why James was the last resort, because he was purple, because literally I learned something, to run the reality show and everything. What was the place of Crypt? Literally, what was Supersonic? Funimation. Did you get Funimation by purple, or did you get Funimation literally by having a supersonic mindset by going to those conventions? You couldn't achieve the whole Cartoon Network if you stay on purple, did you? Purple is self-explanatory, it's lazy. Made for people that can't do nothing. Purple is made to call out the police, not work with them. Did you wear your freshman year? Purple. Purple just like a strain of read. Purple ruins her life, but it also, calls out bullshit. Because within, purple is advanced socializing to where you can call out female manipulation. Any form of advanced socializing is purple. You know what they do? They sneak in literally the whole story. Then they hit you at the right time, like, oh, you stand up for your baby mama, you don't get a car, this, and that. If you catch them off revive, what people do, literally, when you try to get them with a concept, wait the right time to blast your ass. This is this thing called already know in second nature. That's why with purple you get bitches like Marissa Pamela, but without purple you get bitches that actually do full bodily that are outside the criteria. So falling back on purple, waiting for the check from my company is same.